Hey everybody, Keith Dotson here, and I am really excited about this video. Teena and I were able to go inside this famous Chattanooga landmark, the abandoned Wheland Foundry, established here in the 1930s. It's off limits, but we were able to get permission and even an escort to go behind the fences and onto the property and inside some of the remaining structures. To me, this is a bucket list item, the granddaddy of all abandoned buildings. I've been driving past it on Interstate 24 for years. Never managed to stop and get photographs, but now we had exclusive access. You do not want to miss this. But first, let's begin at the beginning. Teena and I drove down to Chattanooga about an hour and a half from home, just for a day out, maybe to do some shopping or lunch or whatever. When we drove past the old foundry buildings, we decided to take the exit and see how close we could get to the structures. After a couple of turns, we arrived here at the corner of West 25th Street and Chestnut, at the old U.S. pipe, valve, and hydrant plant. This is not the big mill that we saw from the freeway, but it was the first thing we found and a good place to start. While Teena and I were doing our thing, we kept dodging around this young man who was busy riding along the curb spraying the dirt with what I assume was weed killer. Curiosity got the best of him, and he finally stopped to ask what we were doing. And my official spokesperson, Teena, explained what we were doing there and immediately began quizzing him on what he knew about the plant. He told us it had been abandoned for a long time, probably before he was born. He said that U.S. Pipe had owned a lot of the surrounding properties, including the massive abandoned foundry a few blocks down. He said it was all slated for demolition to make way for a new sports stadium. A Google search when I got back home revealed this specific plant closed for good in 2006. I learned that the funding for a new mixed-use development project was approved earlier this year, which is 2024, and would include a new stadium for the Chattanooga Lookouts, a Double-A minor league team affiliated with the Cincinnati Reds. According to a press release, the deal will mean redevelopment of 140 acres of the South Broad District, where we are in this video, to include the Wheland Foundry and the U.S. pipe sites. From what I understand, some of the historic structures will remain, but overall the sites are considered brownfields and will need a lot of environmental cleanup and demolition work in preparation for the new development. In 1969, legendary American newsman Walter Cronkite called Chattanooga the dirtiest city in the country. The city had 50 metal foundries puffing smoke and soot into the air alongside the river. Wheland was just one of them. Since then, the city's come a long way in cleaning up, but some polluted industrial sites like these still remain.
You have your power tools in the back. In the background.
Oh yeah, always.
Never fails.
Always gotta have power tools. I'm gonna put on a timer. I'm gonna hopefully hold it stable. Pretty sharp. Let's do a couple more for safety. After shooting the U.S. pipe ruins, we thought we'd go down to see what else we could find at the Wheland Foundry location. Neither of us had been there before. This is where we just were, and this is where we're going next. What really fascinates me is the way those window coverings melted and turned into something other. Yeah. You know?
They did have a sign up on the other side talking about no trespassing and surveillance video being in progress.
Yes, well, we're not going to trespass. And there it is. Conditions were favorable. I love these moody sky conditions for abandoned places photography. In its heyday, this must have been like a city within a city.
Look, there's an opening up there.
Just look at this place. If you look closely in the background, you can see vehicles rolling by on Interstate 24. We're on the opposite side of what travelers entering Chattanooga see from the highway. These screenshots from Google Street View show you the view that most people see as they're entering the city. This is the view that has captivated me for over 10 years, and I'm finally doing something about it. As vast as the site looks now, here's a 1950 aerial photograph that shows how the plant looked in better days. The curved line running through the center was a street that bordered the property, and in the distance is the long plant that we can still see today. If we look at the site today on Google Earth, we can see that most of the 1950s era plant is now gone. As I said earlier, even though the company was started in the 1870s, this location was established in 1936. This foundry made everything from auto parts to equipment to support the war effort during World War II. It was closed in 2003, laying off 400 workers. As you can see, there's a fence with signs advising people to keep out. There are some of the railroad tracks that run through the area, and over there is where the rest of the foundry would have been back in that 1950s photograph. Alright, let's get on with checking out this incredible location. Down there past the car, there's a leg of a local hike and bike trail that runs along the edge of the site, and the fence is lower there so people can look at the old foundry ruins as they jog or pedal by. This footage was shot over the top of that lower fence. Here you can see the fence just skimming into the bottom edge of the frame as Teena walked the fence line. As you can see, it's not bad, a pretty close-up and unobscured look at the building. From what I've read, I think that blue building with the faded powerhouse sign will be kept standing during renovations. Frankly, it's pretty cool that the city acknowledged the obvious curiosity people have about buildings like this and put the hiking path here with a clear view of the ruins. However, we received special permissions to enter the property. A security guard who patrols the property, actually an off-duty city police officer who asked not to be filmed, saw Teena along the fence recording video, and when she explained what we were doing, he invited us to come inside the fence and take all the photographs and videos that we wanted. It was an unbelievable opportunity. The officer stayed with us for safety, but we were able to go inside and around pretty much as we wished. He said with all the vandals and unhoused people that have already been inside, he didn't see why we couldn't be allowed to make something positive from the location before it's taken down. I don't know how long it'll be before demolition begins, but we could possibly be the last people authorized to shoot this historic ruin before it's gone forever. By the way, I wanted to be sure and invite anyone who worked in the facility to please comment or send a message and let me know what memories you have of the foundry. I've told you just about everything that I know about this foundry and its history, so I'll keep quiet while I get busy checking off a big one from my bucket list. Look at all these incredible textures and details. If you look closely, you can see Teena in that doorway filming the interior. She captured roughly 20 minutes of footage inside, so keep watching for that momentarily. Okay, y'all, now Teena will walk us inside and behind the behemoth structure. Hope you enjoy seeing the details that she finds inside. Despite how bright and clean the video appears, it was actually quite dark inside the building. Not only did the Pocket 3 do a fantastic job in this low-light situation, but I had very little hope that my still photos would be usable. But guess what? The Fujifilm image stabilization saved the day for me. My images inside were crisp and sharp and without much noise at all. At this point, the rain was beginning to get heavier, and I didn't want to keep the officer much longer, so I called Teena to see if she wanted to wrap it up. But honestly, she would have kept exploring if we'd had the time.
Yes? I'm right here. Can you see me? Okay, I'll be there in a second. Okay. Almost. Okay. All right, bye.
Needless to say, this unexpected and unplanned visit was a dream come true for me. I want to thank the officer for allowing us such a rare treat and for his patience as we worked, and thanks to Teena for her amazing work in this video. And of course, thanks very much to you for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing these two industrial sites before they're removed from the landscape. You can find photographs of Chattanooga and a lot of other places on my website at keithdotson.com.